Welcome to part 2 on conflict management. In this, you're going to see the reaction, the way out, and the good side of conflict. When we talk about reaction, you will notice certain behaviors, for example, bullying, incompetence, and emotional outburst. You can also notice inaction or ignorance. This is the easiest way to hide the problem, which people tend to because it fits very well with their comfort zone. But it doesn't function very well on a long run. It's going to resurface again with greater intensity. The next one is fight mode. People often tend to become defensive or play the blame game when it comes up to owing their part of the problem or when they feel that they are threatened. The next one is compromise. Both the parties involved tend to give up something in order to reach the common ground. Accommodate. One party gives up to the other party's point because the other party's points are more valid. So what is the way out? We need to follow the R's formula. First R is the right situation. Make sure that you're addressing the right situation. Do not bring the past situation and mix it up with the present. It's going to complicate the situation further. Be very specific about what behavior change need to take place and what new behavior need to implement in line with the conflict management. The next is right person. Address it to the right person or the entire department. The right movement. Technically, it should be done within 48 hours of the conflict, but it can be any time closer to that. Next R is the right place, away from the public. The right time. When you have the time to focus and when you have the full energy. The next one is right approach, which is the most important part and will lead to the conflict management directly. Use the emotions wisely because you need logical thinking for effective conflict management. Then start with positive point. Make sure that you're very specific and genuine about it. Reframe the negatives because the negative words will attract negativity and positive words will attract positivity. Be clear on what behavior change needs to take place. Use the facts. Discuss openly. And then talk about how did you feel about the situation and what was the impact of the other person's action. Listen to the other person's perspective. Sometimes they just want to vent their feeling and then they come up with their own solution. You don't have to work hard for it. If it doesn't get solved, then you need to reinforce the corrective behavior or the new behavior that needs to take place in line with conflict management. So discuss the action plan, implement it, and make sure that you do follow up as well. For major conflict in an organization, you need a facilitator. Primarily, the facilitator will do the groundwork. They'll understand the roles and responsibilities of everyone in the organization in terms of who has the authority, who makes the decision, and who implements it. What are the knowledge and skills of people involved in conflict? To find out the opinion, they will involve everyone or they take the opinion of everyone involved in conflict. Because just taking opinion of few people is restrictive of their selective opinion or their perspective. Taking opinion of everyone will give you refined option and consistent understanding. You can definitely see the pattern and the nature. They'll also use good probing question. For example, what makes you say so or what makes you feel that you should do it this way? Once they have collected the data, they will analyze and see what are the different perspectives, what are their commitments, to what extent do they owe the need to change, what is the current state, what is the ideal state, and what changes need to occur. Once they have analyzed the data, they will communicate with the required team. They'll bring the team together and first of all, they will set the ground rules so that it rules out any bias while the discussion is going on. They will be open about the losses. They'll help the group to understand what do they ought to lose or what do they stand out to lose and what are the implications. Once they have communicated, they will stimulate the discussion and they will sit and observe the actions of people involved in the discussion. Are they trying to minimize the conflict, or they are ignoring, or they are becoming defensive? As a facilitator, they will bring these key differences by getting the people together with different opinion and engage them with discussion. This is the good side of the conflict, or good side of surfacing the conflict up to stimulate a healthy discussion. Now, when they discuss, you can see the heat of the discussion either increases or decreases. If it goes beyond a certain level, the facilitator will come and try to neutralize it or try to bring it back to the normal. Now, what are the strategies to increase the heat? A little note for you over here, you need to understand the limit of tolerance, the maximum level that the parties involved can endure in before they start moving away from each other or moving away from the problem. So what are the strategies of increasing heat? Direct the focus of the team back to the subject first of all. The next is surface the conflict. Now resist the temptation to interfere or to minimize the conflict or disagreement. Surfacing the different perspective will be an essential part in understanding the root cause, and it will enable you to understand the new ways and the behavior which the group involved need to adapt. Allow the statement that will stimulate the strong responses. So what are the strategies of reducing the heat then? Now, reducing the heat is required when the discussion or the heat of the discussion goes beyond a certain level or limit of tolerance. So what are the strategies you need to adopt then? Again, redirect the focus back to the situation or bring the team back to the main agenda. Assume the responsibility. If you are the position or an authoritative person, you need to assume the responsibility of the providing solution to the situation and buy the time for the people to get used to the new solution. Work breakdown structure. People need time to do the work. They need the time to accept the loss, and they need the time to trial and error the new solution. So breaking down the work into more manageable tasks and assign it according to the individual's capacity, and also reducing the pace or rate of change will help the team to adapt to the solution in a much better way. Breaks. It is a stressful event to implement the new behavior in line with conflict management. So people need break, pauses, and the rest appropriately to recharge. Then, last but not the least, create more supportive structure to people to enable them to effectively implement the solution for conflict management. This way will reduce their stress and will calm them down. I hope you have got the benefit or lots and lots of useful information through this video. Now, if you want to know anything else about the conflict management, please do write your comment under the comment section in this video. I'll be more than happy to clarify by replying back, or you can also mention your contact where I can send your reply to. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.